Today I will be talking about being a prison wife, prison girlfriend, being in a relationship with someone that is incarcerated. I do want to start off by saying that I have much love and respect for everyone that waits no matter what the situation is, but I am in this situation because I was with someone for years before they got locked up. I did not choose to become in a relationship with someone that's incarcerated. I feel like it's different for people that do that. I know that it's still probably just as hard, but it's definitely not the same thing that when you choose to be in a relationship with someone than when your loved one got taken away from you, got arrested. It's very different. Also, I am not a proud prison girlfriend. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, I'm so proud. It's no, because it's not something to be proud about. It's actually quite embarrassing to have a loved one in prison. I do it because that's the situation. I don't sit here and tell you how great it is, tell you how great of a person I am because I'm doing it. No, I do it because I choose to do it. It's definitely not something to be proud of. It's definitely not something to go around bragging about. I would never do that. I'm just dealing with the situation as it comes. I'm definitely not one of those I love my inmate girls, because the way I look at it, I love my man. I'm not going to refer to him as an inmate unless I'm using his inmate number for something. An inmate is a person. I don't understand why they should be referred to as anything else unless it's a legal situation, so I never really quite understood why people are like that. But like I said, to each their own. This is my personal opinion, and I'm not here to talk down about anyone. I'm just here to give advice and tell people my situation, how I deal with it, and hopefully it'll help other people as well. I would like to say that I go above and beyond for my man, but to me it's just the normal thing to do. It's like being in a relationship. It is being in a relationship, but just because he's gone, not right here next to me, doesn't mean anything changes. I do definitely write. Writing is the most important thing. I send at least 5 letters a week, each of them at least 3 pages long. I would never send anything less than that because it takes time and thought to write out letters. I want to pretend like he's right here with me. Never want to let him feel like he's not on my mind, no matter what I set aside the time of the day to write. Visiting in county, to me there's absolutely no excuse. Everybody's county jail is right downtown. No matter how far you live from downtown, it's not an hour drive. Like, I visited twice a week in county. It was video visits. It was 25 minutes. It was the least I can do. He has all that time in there, and I can't go take a little hour out of my day at most to go and see him. That was definitely the biggest thing. No matter what, I found time to do it. In prison, I know that it is a little bit different. Hopefully everyone has contact visits, so those are much better. I'm not quite sure how far everybody lives, but I know that the prison away from me is about an hour 45 minutes. I have not been approved yet for visiting, but once I do, I know I'll try to make it as often as I can, once a week, once every 2 weeks, depending. It's not that far from me. I know people go hours, and wow, I would do it. I definitely would do it. Not as often because it is expensive, but I definitely would go out of my way to do that. Phone calls. Definitely answer phone calls. I feel like it's the worst part of the day when I miss a phone call. I always put in, I don't know how it works for everyone else, but I have to pay myself for phone time. I have a prepaid account, especially because it's a cell phone. I can't answer a collect call. I have to put in money. I make sure that my money never runs out. I know it is expensive, but to me that's a priority, because if he's not talking to me, who else is he talking to? It's my job, I feel like, to do all of this. Put in money. I know I put in money when I can, but I do also get very upset when he asks me for money, because obviously I'm doing what I can. I don't feel like that's a necessity, but if they need some, they need something. But to me, that really makes me mad if my man were to constantly ask for money, because I'm not his personal bank. I'm not his personal assistant, and if he's going to be calling me and taking my good money that I put on there to talk to him, I'm not going to want to hear about money this, money that. I do send a package every 3 months. Again, what I can do. I do not mind doing him favors, but I'm not cool with that personal assistant shit. No. The most important thing to do in a relationship such as these ones is stay faithful. If you cannot stay faithful, then I'm no one to judge. I'm not saying that you need to be in a relationship with someone while they're incarcerated, that you need to be there for them. But if you can't do it, then why the fuck are you gonna play mind games? What you need to do is you need to leave him. And it's simple as that. If a man even, if someone else even caught my attention, I would straight up leave, because I have enough respect for my relationship to do that. I have enough respect for him that I wouldn't sit there and make him think that everything's okay when it doesn't. If a man even makes you smile, then maybe you should really reevaluate your relationship. It's not your fault that they're in there. Well, it's definitely not your fault that they're in there. So if you're not happy with them, then leave. It's that simple. I know people say, well, that'll hurt their feelings, whatever. I think it's much better to leave than live a lie. Another thing is that you need to do everything that you can do. If you can't visit, then okay. If you don't have the money to put in, okay. If you have to pay for the phone calls and you don't have the money, then okay. But there's absolutely no excuse for not writing, especially writing. To me, letters are so personal, and I'd be damned if my man wrote any other female but me. Like, that'd be it for me, because I know that I've done everything. I know that I'm sending letters, but you have to understand, if you don't do it, someone else will. They have nothing but time in there. They're obviously lonely. If you're not gonna write him, then some other bitch will. You know, there's so many females out there that are in these prison relationships, and they got in a relationship with their man while he was incarcerated. Don't you think, how did they meet them? Sometimes they knew people, like they were friends before, way back, but a lot of times they meet them like by being pen pals. Do you really think that your man's any different? Do you really think that if you don't write to him, that he won't write to someone else and someone else won't write to him? Like, it can happen, it will happen, and it's my job to write to my man. No other bitch is going to be writing to my man, so I will be sending out my letters. And if he does write to any other female after that, I find out, then obviously I leave right away, because I know I've done my part. There's absolutely no excuse for not keeping in contact with your man. There's absolutely no excuse for not making him feel like he's your man, because someone else is waiting to do it, especially if he looks good. If you know he looks good, then it's not going to be hard. It's definitely, females write those all the time. They do it all the time. I have plenty of friends that just are pen pals or getting with people while they're in prison. Why they do it, don't ask me, but it happens. So definitely don't hesitate to do it, because you have to understand they have nothing but time. I'm not saying don't trust your man, because every relationship is based on trust, and if you don't trust them, definitely they're not going to trust you, because you're out here and you have so much more freedoms than they do. But you definitely, someone else will. I cannot stress that enough. I've seen it happen way too many times. And if you are doing everything that you can, if you're holding it down out here for your man and he doesn't notice and appreciate you, then leave. You're nobody's fool. No one's anybody's fool. And I believe in second chances. I believe in all that stuff. I believe in working things out. But I do not believe in any of that while your man's locked up, because there's no excuse for anything. You're over here doing everything. You don't need to be doing that. You have to understand, you don't need to be holding it down for him. You don't need to be putting your life on hold for him. You don't need to be waiting for him, but you are, because you love him. And if he can't notice and appreciate that, if he can't do everything like to make you feel like you're a queen, if he can't make you feel like he loves you, if he cannot respect you and treat you right, treat you better than right, treat you like put you on a pedestal, because you deserve to be up there. It's not easy. It's not fun. And if he can't do that, then leave right away. I don't understand why you would hesitate to leave. If there was any cheating kind of going on while he's in prison, I would never, ever, ever forgive that. Whether it's, of course, he doesn't get any action, but if writing, that's so personal to me, and that's unforgivable. I would leave right away. That's one thing that I don't understand, why people are sitting there staying in a relationship with their man while they're locked up, while they're being treated like shit. Like, I would never stay in a relationship like this if he made me anything but happy. Anything but happy. Of course, when they're out in the streets, it's different. Like I said, I do believe in second chances, but second chances are for free men. But other than that, it's not easy. It's definitely something that's hard to deal with. There are nights where you feel like you have no other choice but to sit there and cry yourself to sleep when you miss them, when you need them. I'm not gonna say it's so easy, but you learn to appreciate the little things. You learn to appreciate letters and phone calls and 15 minutes just to hear their voice. Like, when you're in a relationship not locked up, when they're out here, you tend to take those things for granted. And I feel like me and my man got a lot closer since he's been gone, because we really do have time to just sit there and tell each other how we feel and work problems out, when in person it's kind of something that you brush off a lot, or you just think that it's never going to be taken away from you. It's hard, it really is. I mean, to have support from other people is amazing, because I mean, I'm not gonna, what I was gonna say misery loves company, but that's really not what I'm trying to say. I don't want anyone to feel the same pain that I've ever felt for it, but it is nice to know that you're not alone, because you really do feel alone a lot. No one understands the pain of always missing someone, always missing your other half. Even when you're with them, even on a visit, you miss them the whole entire time, because you know that you're going to leave, you know that you're going to be alone. And especially when you don't have a time frame, especially when you're sitting there counting time, I mean, it's hard. It's like, unless you've gone through it, you do not understand. You can sit here and try to say that you get it and you feel for it, but unless you've done it, it's undescribable, the kind of pain. And the people that do wait for their man, it's obviously a strong love, because I would never ever ever put myself through something like this if I didn't feel like it's worth it. Is it worth it? I'm not gonna sit there and tell everyone yes, it's worth it, because it's the worst pain ever. Some days it's okay, but really, it's the worst heartache ever to sit here and just feel lost, not being able to talk, not being able to pick up your phone and tell them how you feel. When you guys get in fights, not knowing when the next time you'll talk to them. Like, if it's worth it, then wait. If it's not, that's up to you. Like, I would never ever want to be in a situation like this. That's why I don't really understand why people put themselves in relationships, intimate relationships, personal relationships with people that are locked up that they've never even met, because it hurts. It really does. I would never choose this life, but I am his rider girl. I would be there no matter what. I mean, well, it's not something that I would go into knowingly. The best therapy for me definitely would have to be writing. I mean, I can't even tell you how many nights I've spent there just writing in tears, telling him everything, and I really do feel better after that. It's hard, especially to me, it's especially hard when they don't show you that they're making progress. I mean, to me, it means the world to me when I see him doing good in there. When I see him getting put in the hole and stuff, I'm just like, are you serious? You'd rather choose whatever kind of fight you were in, try whatever, than talking to me? Like, it hurts. It's very hurtful to think that I'm not on his mind when he's going through that, whatever situation it is. When he is doing good in there, it at least shows me that he does want to come home and he is trying to take time off his sentence, and that's what means a lot to me, because, I mean, I don't even think they know how bad it hurts. I don't think he'll ever understand how hard it is. I really don't. He maybe, yeah, he misses me just as much, and yeah, he appreciates me going, but I don't think he understands how difficult it is. I think he's just happy that I'm there, and that's kind of what bothers me. But as long as I get repaid for it, I feel like every man, once they come back, that they owe you for a lifetime, no matter how long they were in there, because you showed them that you were there. You proved your love. That is the biggest proof of love to me. It's takes a lot, and I don't feel like they understand. And definitely no one that's not in a situation like this, that's not in a prison relationship, in a relationship with an incarcerated one, they don't understand how bad it is. I know that he's coming home to me, and I'm very confident that he'll learn and he'll change. That's why I do it. I wouldn't be comfortable being in a relationship like that knowing that I'm gonna be doing it over and over again. It's not something that sits right with me. It's definitely trying to be a husband, trying to be a boyfriend, trying to be a daddy from a jail cell doesn't sit right for me. But it is something that I learned to deal with for the love. And for the girls that are in these relationships with these men that they've actually never met in person, or they haven't met before they were in prison, and they met them while they were in prison, I would definitely have to say keep trucha, because I've seen it that end badly way too many times, and it's very sad and unfortunate. But you have to, I'm not saying don't trust them, but you have to look at it from how you met them, and I would just say look out, keep a lookout. It's sad, but I've seen it happen personally one too many times. So, well, thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions about this subject, go ahead and comment below. I'll try to, answer everything. I hope I went through enough stuff. I know that people were asking me to speak on this subject a lot, but yes, thanks for watching. Se me cuidan.